Today's topic is ergonomics. So you must have heard about this topic, or you must have studied about this topic in the mechanical or industrial or maybe in automotive engineering. So we'll talk about it in detail. So content of the today's discussion will be first introduction to ergonomics. So here I'll be explaining what is ergonomics. So next is anthropomatics. So this term must be new for you, and it is one of the most important term related to ergonomics. After that, we will talk about the importance of ergonomics, why we need it, and how it is important in our day-to-day life. The next topic will be evolution in the field, how this field is evolved in the last few years. Next one is softwares used for the ergonomics. In terms of softwares, I will say the software parts will be only 5% important in the field of ergonomics as compared to other part. But still, I will be explaining about which softwares are available in the industry. Next one, and one of the most important, will be ergonomics in automotive industry, aerospace industry, and transportation industry. So after that, I'll be handling career path and job opportunities and how to get into this domain. So today we'll be discussing about all those points. Okay, so first is introduction to ergonomics. So as you can see here the tomato seat, which is developed in the 1971. So if you look at it, it looks aesthetically good, but is it comfortable if you sit there? So first is if you sit there for let's say 5-10 minutes, then you will say okay, little bit comfortable. But what if I tell you you need to sit there for 8 hours? So in that case, it is not comfortable. Okay, so here is next comfortable seat for you. You can sit here for 8 hours, 10 hours, or you can sit every day on this chair. But is it practical for working with PC? The answer is no. We can sit on it, we can sit on it, we can watch TV, but we cannot sit on it and work with PC. So next, here comes the ergonomic seat. So this seat is specially adapted for working with PC. You can sit here, you can work on PC for full day. But again, is it comfortable for fishing? No, it is not comfortable for fishing. It is just meant to work with computer. So here is the definition of ergonomics. Ergonomics is the science concerned with designing and arranging things people use so that people and things interact most efficiently and safely. In short words, we need to design the product in such a way that people will feel comfortable about it. People will be comfortable, people will interact more. So next is so from where ergonomics came. So ergonomics came from Greek word ergon meaning work and nomoi meaning natural law. So it's the science of designing the product which human use in day-to-day life. Here you can see here you have one task. So the task is to lift the box. So let's say that box weight is 5 kg or let's say 10 kg. So in first image, as you can see, what he is doing, he is bending and then he is lifting with the help of his back. So this is not a recommended way. So if you see next picture, in that picture he is sitting, he is picking the box and he is lifting with the help of his leg. So this is the correct way, or I would say this is the correct process. So here ergonomics takes a part, like how the process needs to be designed so that it will be more comfortable for the person. Or let's say we are using number of products in day-to-day life. So how those products will be more comfortable for human. So that is where ergonomic comes. So as I have shown here, the person, the operation, and object. That these the three parts are related because we'll be working on such object and we'll be doing some operations. So ergonomics is related to the giving comfort to this process. So in ergonomics, now you know okay, what we wanted to do in ergonomics. We wanted to give comfort to humans. Okay, so how to give that? So the first one is like this is one of the most important terms in terms of ergonomics, that is anthropometry. So anthropometry is the branch of science which measures the size and proportion of human body, especially as applied to the design of various products that we use. So you may think why it is important, why it is needed, why we need human dimension. So like as you know, like we are living in one country, we can find number of people with different size. Few people are shorter, few people are taller, few people are normal. So we have number of variations. So in order to catch those variations, we need to first study how are variations and how people are segregated. So that is why anthropometrics is important, like to measure the human in all aspects, like in case of height, in case of weight, in case of strength. So second, as I already said, humans are variable in dimension, proportion, shape, and in all other correct characteristics. So to measure that, we will be using the anthropometry. Here what they have done, so they have taken the graph of full population, okay, and they have plotted against the percentage as well as the count. This graph shows the normal distribution curve for a given number of people. So as you can see here in the left side, you can see the 5 percentile. Then after that you can say 50th percentile. After that you can say 95th percentile. So what is this? So if I tell you ki you need to consider 5th percentile. So 5th percentile means out of the total population, his body dimension or body size will be more than the 5% of population. So in other terms, 5th percentile will be dimensions of 5th percentile will be lesser than 95th other 95th percentile, and it is more than the 5% of the population which comes on lower range, like less heighted people or short people. We talk about 15th percentile. The 15th percentile will be kind of mean, so he'll be like 50% population will be shorter than him, 50% population will be longer than him. So the next term is 95 percentile, 95th percentile. So 95th percentile meaning almost 95% of total population will be shorter or will be of less strength as compared to this man. So these three terms are more important in the field of ergonomics. So in next, if we move to next slide, then all things will be clear. Like what is percentile? Okay, so here you can see on left side you can see men, on right hand side you can see women. So here they have given like 1 percentile, 5 percentile, 95 percentile, 99 percentile. So here you can see 1 percentile is shorter, 5 percentile is shorter than 95 but more than 1 percentile. So this is how it is. Like as I already said, if we take the example of 5 percentile, then he will be taller than remaining 5 percentile of the population. If I say 95 percentile, then he will be taller than the remaining 95 percentile. Most of the products that we use in day-to-day life are designed in terms of 95 percentile and 5 percentile. Similarly, if we come here in women's section, though, so as you know, a woman's height is little bit less than men. So if we take 99 percentile in woman and male, so it is little bit shorter. But again, same chronology is applicable here: 1 percentile, 5 percentile, 95 and 99. So here, based on the full population, they are segregating the terms like 5 percentile, 50 percentile, 95 percentile. So these percentiles we will be studying in the ergonomics, and with their help, we will be designing the product. So next is why ergonomics is important. So ergonomics is important because whenever we are doing a job and let's say your body is stressed because of awkward posture, extreme temperature and repeated movements, you may feel irritated, you may feel musculoskeletal system may get affected. So in that case what will happen? Your body will observe the fatigue, you will have discomfort, you will have pain, and which will be the first signs of musculoskeletal disorder. So your mind will say no, I don't want to work, no, this is not right, no, the task I am doing is not correct. So it will all lead to musculoskeletal disorder. So what is musculoskeletal disorder? So these MSDs are conditions that affect your body's muscles, joints, tendons, ligaments and nerves. MSDs can develop over time or can occur immediately due to overload. Let's say you are doing some task and that task is not ergonomically designed, then you may feel back pain, you may feel the pain in joints. So this will lead to musculoskeletal disorders. So in order to avoid that, we need to design each and everything that we use in terms of ergonomics. So here I have given few examples for the same. So in the first one, you can see the woman is studying on microscope, but she is not sitting and her back is in total bend. So this is kind of awkward posture. So next one, what they have done, they have given a seat and now she can sit in a relaxed position and she can work. So if we compare the efficiency, then as compared to first case, in second case, obviously everyone will work more because the operation is more comfortable. Next one is, let's say one woman is doing something on the floor. Okay, so again she is fully bending and she is doing the task. Okay, she can do this task like once, twice, thrice. But what if she has to do this task continuously? definitely after some time she may feel irritated, and few issues will come related to back pain. So secondly, what they have done, they have given extension handle which allows for non-natural posture, like we can stand and we can perform the operation. So the operation will be more easy and human comfort will be more in this case. In third example, as you can see, the seat is too small and it provides a very minimal support at the back. So driver may feel irritated after few hours of driving. In second case, what they have done, they have given the more support at the back to the seat. So now driver can drive comfortably. So this is how ergonomics. So this change you can see here. So this is ergonomics. This is the task of ergonomics engineer, to check the things, to design in terms of human comfort. So here are another few examples. So here in first, the person is operating with screwdriver, but you can see his wrist is bent. So after some time, he may feel joint pain. But in second one, they have given a power inline screwdriver. So with that, his wrist will be straight and he can work more, or he can work more comfortably. Again, in next second example, the one person is working maybe under car or doing some underbody operation. Okay, so here you can see they do not have any support to neck, they do not have any support to his body. So in that case, after some time, his neck may feel irritated, he may feel pain in the neck. So in second case, what they have done, they have given one support, a full body support as well as neck support. So this will improve his comfort and he can work more effectively. So again, the last example, as you can see, maybe he's a designer. He is designing or drawing something. So here you can see it is a large drawing. So he need to bend and he need to work. He need to extend and reach and he need to work. So what they have done, they have given him tilted table. So in order to work, it is not required for him to bend or to extend. Everything will be done with the help of tilt table. So here again he can perform that operation comfortably. So this is ergonomics, doing the things, designing the things which will be more comfortable for humans. So this is ergonomics. So here again they have given the terms which will cause discomfort to the human. Like first one is force. If we are handling more force, then definitely after some time we may feel irritated. Lifting heavy objects, pushing, pulling, carrying. In case of gripping, they have again, as I already explained you, awkward and prolonged postures, repetitive actions, overhead works, contact stress, vibration, extreme temperatures. All these things, if we are not designing the product in correctly, then these things will lead to the human discomfort. So that is why ergonomics is important in our day-to-day life. Now I have taught you about the examples and some definitions. So now let's take it practically. So what if I told you you need to hold one glass of water? You will say yes, I can hold. What if I told you you need to hold that one glass of water for 1 hour continuously? Of us may say yes, I can hold. But what if I told you same glass you need to hold for 8 hours in day and same task you need to perform for 365 days? Then definitely you will say no, this is not possible. So this is where ergonomic comes, like doing things comfortably. Also we need to consider for how much time that guy is working or how much time we'll be working. So based on all those things, we need to design the product ergonomically, because otherwise it will lead to musculoskeletal disorders. Evaluation in the field. So in the first image, they have shown some tools which were used in used by our ancestors. So as you can see in first image, those tools we can grab easily. So yes, we can say those are designed ergonomically because we can easily grab and we can work on them. But they have not taken the into consideration about the industrial revolution, or I would say they were just designed in terms of human hand, but they have not taken the human comfort into the factor. So next one, shortly after the industrial revolution, factory machinery and equipment started being built with design consideration closer to what we think today as ergonomics. So later on, they started designing the product with the help of ergonomics, like how human can do it comfortably and all those things. But again, there is one more catch. So in that era also, most of these designs, however, were created to increase the speed and efficiency of production. So at that time, in second image, there focus was more to increase the speed and efficiency. In second image, as you can see, they have not taken into the consideration of weight of the tool or center of gravity where it lies, because based on that we need to design the tool. But if you see in third one, so in third one they have designed the tool by considering the weight, by considering comfort, by considering the center of gravity. So that means this is what they are saying. In next one, next generations, all the things were focused based on the comforts. So now whatever the products we are using in day-to-day life, so let it be your chair, let it be your laptop, let it be your bike. So all these things are designed ergonomically based on human dimension, based on human comfort, and those products should not cause any discomfort to human. So all the products that we use are needs to be designed ergonomically. So this is the one of the most modern evolution in the field of ergonomics, that is called human machine interface or human computer interaction. So as you can see in the image, what I have, you can see the aeroplane, the picture of aeroplane cabin. So as you can see, the driver will be sitting, and along with driver, co-driver will be sitting. But can you see four screens are present? Almost 500 or 600 controls are present. So what are those controls? Are those controls are properly reachable by the driver? Let's say the driver is driving the plane. So again, a lot of screens are there. On which screen he need to focus? Okay, on which screen, what content needs to become? And again, lot of controls are there. Let's say key in plane also, maybe they have some accelerator kind of thing. So that accelerator needs to be in his directory. So whether that accelerator is in directory, whether all the emergency controls are situated near to him, whether the controls which he do not need frequently, those we can situate at a little bit longer. So can has he done that, or has this human machine interface has designed ergonomically? So all these things come into picture whenever we are designing the product which deals with the screen. This is one of the most recent evolution happened in the field of ergonomics, and all the ergonomics in the field of automotive, in the field of transportation, in the field of aeroplane are using this one. So next one, again, I'll be explaining it with example. In first image, you can see the old cars, or we can say vintage cars. So this car looks good, but if you see, the seat is not that much comfortable as compared to the current cars. So here you can rotate the back, but you cannot move the seat towards the steering, away from the steering in old days. But if we talk about today's car, you can see in today's car we can sit move towards the steering, away from steering. We can change the back angle. We can have the options for massaging in the seat. We have number of options available in the seat. So this is the perfect example of evolution in the ergonomics. You can see the old vintage car seats, and you can see a nowadays seat. So this will be more comfortable for the driver. So this is where ergonomic takes a part, and this is how evolution happened in the field of ergonomics. So here, what I have done, I have taken a few images from the software. So here you can see in first image, we have created humans, or in software terms, we call it mannequins. So we have created mannequins. The first mannequin is sitting in sitting position. Second one is in standing position. Third one is doing some task, and fourth one maybe he's running. So all these postures or all these humans we can create in software, and then we can analyze. In second image, you can see one person is standing, and there is one cone in front of him. So that is nothing but his vision, like what the person can see from his eyes. So that also we can check in software. So third one is a reach check. The person again is standing, and it is the zone which you see in purple color is nothing but the reach of his right hand. So all the parts or all the things which are under this zone he can reach. So all these things we can design, or we can create in software. We can analyze there, and we can design the product ergonomically. So here are the softwares used in the field of ergonomics. So as I said, in case of ergonomics, software takes only 5%. I will say software contribute only 5%. You should have knowledge about the ergonomics. You should know the terms related to ergonomics. So those things will contribute 95%. Software is just tool. You have few commands. With that, you need to create the posture. You need to analyze. But still, you need to have the basic understanding of ergonomics, the terms related to ergonomics, what things are coming in ergonomics, what we need to check in ergonomics. So those things you should know. So again, if we talk about softwares, so in case of Dassault system, we have one software which named Delmia. In case of Siemens, we have three softwares: Process Simulate, Classic Jack, VJack. So all these softwares are used in the industry based on company to company. Now I'll be talking mainly about ergonomics in the field of automotive. So now you will get clear idea ki, let's say if I want to move in automotive, so how ergonomics is important and how people are working there. So as you can see in first image, one person is sitting. Okay, if one person is sitting and he is driving. So again, as I already told you, seat have movement. We can move seat towards the steering, away from the steering. We can change the back angle. We have other options as well. And as we already know, we have different people of different dimension. Few people are shorter, few people are taller. Let's say if shorter people is sitting in the car, so in that case, we need to move it a little bit towards the steering so that that person can drive comfortably. If a stronger person is sitting, let's say stronger person or lengthier person is M95, whose height will be more. So let's say M95 or male 95 or a woman 95 percentile will be sitting on seat. So in that case, we need to check whether, okay, while sitting, whether he can sit comfortably, whether he can drive comfortably. So in order to accommodate all these population of different sizes in automotive car, they have given the movement like we can move the seat. But for with how much? So designer has to think we give how much limit we need to give, how much seat movement we need to give to the customer. So that thing we need to check in software in case of automotive ergonomics. So this is one key: seat design is ergonomic, is feasible or not. So the what are the main factors which we are checking? First one, as I already said, comfort. Second factor is reach to all controls. So as you know, in automotive, again, we have gear handle to move the gear. We have brake pedal, we have accelerator, we have clutch. Can everyone can, like, can shorter person, can taller person reach all those controls comfortably? Whether he is comfortably working comfortably to reach the controls. So those things also we are checking. The next one is driver's vision. Let's say ki one male 5 percentile, so who will be little bit shorter sitting on the seat. So while sitting, can he see everything through windscreen? Can he see everything which is on road? So that thing also we need to check. So this is where ergonomic takes part in case of automotive, and that is the passenger ergonomics.